This man stumbled on an old chain that was buried in the ground. Curious, he pulled it out only to meet an astonishing surprise that would change his life forever. Mike didn't find anything alarming about the beeping sensor. It was common for him to make regular discoveries with his metal detector. Most of the time, he unearthed squash cans, metal scraps, and other rusty items. He assumed this was just another piece of insignificant trash buried in the soil. However, this time would be different. Although Mike frequently went on routine metal detecting searches in his spare time, nothing could have prepared him for the astonishing surprise he was about to uncover that particular day. During this aimless outing, Mike allowed his thoughts to drift as he walked, something he always did on his regular excursions. Suddenly, the piercing alarm of his metal detector jolted him back to the present, focusing his attention on a specific area of the muddy ground beneath his feet. Without hesitation, Mike plunged his hand into the soggy earth, only to halt abruptly in disbelief at what he had discovered. Instead of the usual metal debris he anticipated, Mike unearthed a peculiar object, likely a belt, crafted from what he presumed was bronze. It didn't appear to be worth its weight in gold. Nevertheless, he kept his find, unaware that it would trigger a life-changing experience for him within hours. Mike was not exactly living his best life yet. The 32-year-old had endured a roller coaster of challenges over the past year. Firstly, he had lost his job as a counselor at a small law firm in an unprecedented branch layoff. Then, following this devastating blow, his fiancée Gina called off their wedding, citing his unemployment and the stress of coping with it as her main motivation. The pitiful turn of events left Mike feeling like he had lost his sense of identity and purpose. As he struggled to accept it, he soon found solace in an odd hobby metal detecting. Mike gave in to this new habit, not because he believed he could find lost treasures, but because it offered a sense of escape for him. Mike used metal detecting to distract himself from his troubles, and gradually grew to love the activity. Despite his life unraveling, he cherished the outdoor thrill of uncovering hidden objects, finding hope and perseverance in it. The bronze belt he discovered reminded him why he enjoyed this hobby. When his friends mocked his find as worthless, he vowed to surpass it with something extraordinary. Driven by this determination, he returned to the site the next day, but after an hour of aimless searching, he lost motivation and called it a day. But just as he was about to leave, his metal detector screeched to life, signaling that it had picked up something. Without delay, Mike began to dig into the ground, hoping it was not false hope. A big part of him knew it was near impossible to find another bizarre object overnight, yet he strove to attain a shocking result. After digging a few inches into the ground, the antsy man finally got his wish, though in the most mind-blowing way possible. Mike found an old chain sticking out of the mud. It was rustic. As big and long as his forearm, it extended mysteriously into the soil to some depths. Taken aback by the discovery, Mike recoiled a bit, trying to process what he had inadvertently dug up. At that moment, he contemplated calling one of his friends to the scene. However, when he remembered the mockery he had endured from them the previous day, he rejected the idea, choosing to finish what he started instead. With shaky hands, he grabbed the old chain and began to pull. Mike tugged at it for a few minutes, clearing the heap of tough sand that held it in place to get it out quickly. The young man was clueless about what he was doing. His body moved purely by desperation, conviction, and the need to know. And for the most part, his mind permitted it. When he finally got the old chain out, Mike realized that he was unprepared for the results he desperately sought as it unveiled a jaw-breaking truth. As soon as the chain came loose, something unexpected happened. A rustic click sound emitted beneath it before the sand around the area collapsed into a lower ground level. At this level, the outline of a vast metal spectacle became apparent. It stretched some 8 feet in length and 4 feet in width. In addition, the metal seemed to be a mix of bronze and copper with a weird architectural style that suggested that it had been buried for centuries. Mike's eyes widened in surprise as he realized the significance of his unusual discovery. This was no ordinary find. He had unknowingly stumbled on a treasure trove of an ancient relic from a bygone era. Quickly, Mike contacted the National Museum to let them know about his mind-blowing discovery. At first, they found the situation laughable, seemingly because the likelihood of unearthing archaeological finds in the country was low, especially in the site Mike described. Yet, unrelenting, the young man pressed on, emailing them a picture of the odd metal object in the ground. With such proof, the experts responded promptly and arrived at the site the next day. Excavation began swiftly, and some archaeologists from around the state joined the effort to clear the ground. After a few hours of digging, they finally found something completely astonishing. The metal spectacle Mike had stumbled upon was none other than an ancient chariot that belonged to the Celtic settlement dating back over 2,000 years ago. However, it didn't end there. Further excavation revealed that the site was a Celtic chariot burial, a funeral centuries ago, where a chieftain was buried with his chariot and horses. As if that was not enough, the archaeologists uncovered more ancient treasures as they dug inches into the soil of the surrounding areas. Bronze artifacts and numerous decorative pieces, such as a brooch, bridle fittings, and the handle section of tools were scattered around a few feet below the soil. The bronze pieces, although green from corrosion, were covered with bright red enamel decoration. Irrespective of the rust and moss around the uncovered objects, they were relatively in good shape. Seeing how everything on the site was linked, Mike decided to hand over the bronze belt he had initially found. It was at this point he unraveled another fascinating secret. What Mike had thought all along to be a bronze belt was indeed a Celtic horse harness junction piece. The young man's heart raced in amazement and excitement as he processed the gravity of his discoveries once again. Following the excavation, the State and National Museum rewarded Mike for his contribution to this history-making discovery. Due to this newfound fame in the world of archaeology, Mike soon regained his sense of worth and purpose. News outlets from various corners rushed to retell his story. They invited Mike to several interviews, spreading his awe-inspiring tale to thousands of people through bulletin boards and social media. Mike's extraordinary luck left many internet users in awe, while a handful remained skeptical about the authenticity of his find. After all, how often does an ordinary person uncover remnants of an ancient civilization with nothing more than a metal detector? Despite the skepticism, the online community continued to celebrate his rags-to-riches story. Thanks to Mike's discovery, scientists and historians now had tangible evidence to delve deeper into and research a previously hidden chapter of history. Mike's story went viral online for several days, inspiring countless individuals to take up metal detecting in specific areas in search of similar treasure troves. As the excitement eventually subsided, Mike re-established himself as a respected member of the community. He joined the team of archaeologists he had connected with during their expeditions, becoming an invaluable asset once again. Uncovering the buried Celtic artifacts awakened Mike's long-hidden passion for archaeology, marking a crucial turning point in his life. What began as a simple, routine walk along a familiar path led this dedicated metal detector enthusiast to unknowingly alter his life's direction. He would forever cherish and be grateful for that transformative experience. I'm really keen to know your thoughts on this story, so please don't hesitate to share your insights in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this video and found it engaging, I invite you to subscribe to our channel for more similar content. Feel free to share this video. Take good care of yourselves, and I'm excited to connect with you in our future videos.